What's going on, everybody? Welcome for another episode of the ABJ Podcast, episode 58. Pete Corvus. Unfortunately, we're going to reschedule yesterday's interview. Jay the Key had some issues at work, couldn't get out in time. But if you were excited for that interview, it will be happening. Just give us time to find a date to reschedule it. Probably in June, we'll look forward, but definitely keep an eye out for the Jay the Key return. I try to get two members of Bad Company in one weekend, but it just didn't work out that way. But that's all right. We got Pete coming up next. But before we get into that, let me read off this sponsor. So guys, it has finally happened. A whole store fully dedicated to vintage wrestling. They say it never could be done, but I have seen it with my own eyes. Suplex Vintage Wrestling is a store curated by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. Located on 5th Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, just one block south of South Street in the heart of Queen Village. Their shop features the largest collection of vintage wrestling apparel under one classic roof. Their selections include classic designs from your favorite wrestlers from the Golden Age, Attitude Era, Internationals, Indies, and more. And if you're tired of watching premium live events at home by yourself, SVW hosts the best watch parties since your best friend Kyle's 12th birthday party. And I will be there on the 27th. So if you want to come watch Clash of Champions, I will be in Philly that weekend. Come hang out. Watch the event of the shop. And if shirts and watch parties aren't your thing, don't forget about the large selection of replica belts, trading cards from their and t-shirts and hats and rare wrestling memorabilia. They have something for every wrestling enthusiast out there. So what are you waiting for? Check them out at suplex.svw on Instagram or their website, suplexsvw.com, and let them satisfy your nostalgia needs. Also, links below for all things ABJ. If you want to grab a t-shirt, if you want to support the Patreon, if you want to leave a tip or donation, that's all there. Unfortunately, I don't have the clout yet on YouTube for super chats to pop up, so I won't see your name, but I will get an alert if you do donate, and I will give you a shout out. Also, guests, my link guests are below as well, so definitely go support him and show some love. But without further ado, let me bring in my guest. We might be cousins. I don't know. We stand next to each other and people are like, yo, are you guys related? We might be. We might have to spit on a DNA test and figure it out. But here is my brother from another mother, Pete Corvus. Hey. What's going on?
Hey, man.
I think people think we look like each other because we both just have that chubby Kevin Owens look. You know what I mean?
I think so. I also think now that I cut my hair, we definitely don't have that much of a look anymore. But now that we like kind of trim the beard too together, it looks like we might.
Yeah, I need fancy, sophisticated glasses. You know what? It's the nose and the tiny little beady eyes. That's what we got going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look.
Yeah, see, we're like halfway there.
Yeah, all right. I can't see shit.
Yeah, man. Thank you for doing this. I'm super excited. You got a lot going on. The profile picture that I put up to promote this episode, you're a bloody mess. I was there for that bloody mess. That was a good time. And before we get rolling here, anyone in the chat, if you are interested in any questions, please post them. Let's talk and let's get some questions out there for Pete. But Pete, let's dive back. Let's go back when you were just a little Pete. And what's your earliest memory of falling in love with professional wrestling?
I can tell you the earliest memory of seeing wrestling on TV. I don't know about falling in love. I remember surfing through like the channels on like the little cable boxes, and like it was I had a TV in my room and only had like the 2, 4, 7, and 9 kind of thing. And I happened to find like UPN 9, and it was like John Cena and Eddie Guerrero during their feud just before the parking lot brawl. That's like the first thing I remember.
Yeah.
And then my mom coming in, I had to like change the channel to like channel 2. I was like, oh my God, like I don't want to get caught. And then I found something.
Was wrestling like not allowed in the house?
Or
forbidden.
Forbidden. It was I don't want you to see what's on TV and then do it to like your little sister. So like we're not gonna do that.
Okay.
So they didn't want me to like grow up to be like a little bully. Turns out I did it anyway, but whatever.
Joke's on you, Mom.
Yeah. So what happened was with that was we were in a KB Toys. Like that's how long ago this was. Like KB Toys don't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
We were in the toy, like the action figure aisle. I was like, oh, can I buy wrestlers? Like, just like, I don't have to watch it. I just want the figures. My mom gets on her little flip phone and she's like, hey, like calls my dad, like, hey, he wants to buy wrestling figures, yada yada yada. All right, I don't see the problem with it. It's like action figures, whatever. He's got like Superman at home already. He can just do great. Buy the 2 wrestling figures, whatever. That's how I get into watching wrestling. This is great. I bought like a Triple H and a Chris Benoit, and it's like, this is great. I'm just throwing them off each other. I have no idea what I'm doing because I don't know anything. I know a power slam. That's all I know in wrestling.
Yeah.
So I start like Googling, like, I don't even know what's like Google. I don't even know. Like, I just was like on the computer. I was like, I don't know any wrestlers' names. I have to Google everything I know about them so I can, when I watch it, it's great. It was like I don't remember if you remember like the Sunday morning they did a TV show. It was like a recap of like it was Todd Gresham and Ivory.
I don't remember that.
They would go to like, they would film it in New York City, like walk around New York City, but they would talk about everything that happened during the week. And
like a recap show.
Like it's a full recap show of everything that would happen, like big like bullet points and like, this is what happened, this is why it happened, kind of thing. I was like, oh, this is great to watch. And then they canceled it on me. I had no idea what was going on. So now I have to watch the shows, but I don't know what time they show. I don't know what time they start. I don't know what channels they're on. I'm on channel 9 every night because it has to pop up at some point.
Yeah.
My bedtime's 8:00, so it's not, I miss SmackDown. I miss Raw because Raw's on at 9. So I was like, this is great. So
no TV in your room, so you can't even sneak it.
I couldn't sneak Raw because it's on USA. So I didn't have USA, but I had channel 9 for SmackDown for UPN.
Yeah.
Catch that. But when I was finally able to watch it, I was the middle of, it was post Rumble 04, 05 because Batista won.
Yeah.
So it was the Batista Triple H feud. That's my earliest memory of like wrestling in there.
You got in when I was out. I was already out by that time. Yeah.
So I missed everything Attitude Era, and I'm strictly
ruthless aggression.
Ruthless aggression kid. Like that's me. Like I'll go back and I'll watch Attitude Era stuff, and it's like, oh, like the Raws suck, the pay-per-views are great, the SmackDowns, like that's great, cool. But like Ruthless Aggression Raw on SmackDown is fantastic. The stories on awesome, and then the wrestling on SmackDown is just, and then it would culminate in like pay-per-views, which blows.
It's funny how people are like, oh my god, Raw sucks so bad and SmackDown sucks so bad. And I'm like, I mean, if you go back and watch since the Attitude Era, like most Raws and SmackDowns are nothing to brag about.
No, you get like the good like snippets on YouTube now. It's like, wow, I didn't see that because you're skipping over an hour and a half, and you're missing like
nonsense.
Yeah, you're missing like the 2-minute greatness that's in the middle of the show that doesn't matter.
Yeah. So when was wrestling fully accepted in your house? When were you able to fully embrace it? And your parents are like, okay, you could definitely, we'll let you lean into this. You haven't chokeslammed your sister or anything like that.
05 officially. So I was like 10. So it was like right around WrestleMania is when it was officially in. But it was in, but it wasn't in. So it was good from 05 to like 06.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Kurt Angle Booker T feud is where my mom like something in Kurt Angle was like, I want to have sex with your wife. My mom had to at that time, and she went, you're done. And I went, but I was like, I don't even know what's going on here.
At least you didn't watch Triple H try to have sex with a corpse.
No, thankfully I missed
or a live sex show on so one of the guys I interviewed.
I was around for the live sex. I was back for the live sex show, but like that was like the time,
I appreciate you, Tofu.
It was like, holy shit.
Yeah, dude, my buddy, his parents took him to Hershey, Pennsylvania. I was either Hershey or Wilkes-Barre, but it was in Pennsylvania. And the show they went to was Raw's live sex show. And they got banned from there for quite some time. They wouldn't let him back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was his first live wrestling experience with his parents. And there's live sex in the ring. And then they obviously mess up and Lita is exposed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wish that was on TV, but whatever.
But yeah, yeah, it is definitely. It's funny because like there is a little bit of an age gap, so it's weird to hear like when you had parents who gave a shit about what you consumed.
Yeah.
Mine did not at all. I could definitely see how wrestling is a tough sell in a household, but
It's
so
the Irish Catholic is just they're not fighters like you think they are.
yeah, it's crazy.
They're all passive.
Now you're growing up, you're watching the whole product the whole time, and you think to yourself, you know what? I want to become a professional wrestler. How did those steps begun? Like at what point were you like, this is what I want to do? Mom, please, I'm gonna go become a wrestler.
It didn't happen right away, like at all.
Yeah.
I went to my first Ring of Honor show in like 2012. Again, super late to everything. I'm like, I miss all the good ROH, but like I watched stuff, so I didn't, but I wasn't there because I didn't go to my first wrestling show till like 2009, 2008. I super late to everything.
Yeah.
So I finally was like, I did the Hammerstein Ballroom. I did Final Battle 2012. I saw Kevin Steen, El Generico, Ladder War 4. I was like, Generico. I didn't know it was Generico's last match didn't know where he was going. It was his last match. Great. So I saw that match. I was like, wow, there's a guy who looks like me who does cool stuff, and he's a world champion. This is so cool. So I started like Googling like schools near me, and like they were so expensive. I'm like, this I had no idea.
Now you're in the Jersey area, right?
No, I'm in New York.
You're in New. I thought you were a Jersey kid.
Yeah, like I'm a New York City kid. Yeah, so
okay.
So I have House of Glory.
Bad Company Production says you're still late to everything.
I know who's behind that page, and they have zero say in being. Especially I don't want to hear anything from. I don't want to hear anything from her. We have House of Glory up here, Creative Pro. I have Wrestle Pro in Jersey. Monster Factor I looked into, but they are way too expensive. I looked at CZW at the time. They are too far. What else was I looking at?
Deshaun Pratt is now the head trainer at CZW, and literally said on the podcast on Tuesday, no fee, come to the gym, just pay me in sweat. So anytime he's literally saying the CZW gym is open for anyone who wants to learn, train.
Yeah. Still in Blackwood?
What's that?
Is it still in Blackwood?
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah.
So we have I have all these schools. So I was like, oh, I'll look into it. So my parents were like, well, you're going to go to college. You're going to get a real job, yada, yada, yada. This is great. I was like, whatever. I'll go to college. Whatever. I did 2 years of college. I didn't graduate. I'm a dropout. I'll admit it. So
it happens. If I would have went to college, I would have been the same way.
Yeah. I didn't care. So I finally find the school that I want to go to. And I handwrite my parents a letter, because I don't want to have this conversation in person, because it's just, I know how it's going to go, and it's going to turn into an argument. I didn't want it. So I hand wrote a note, put it in an envelope, and I put it right on the dining room table. And I said, just please read. And I woke up the next morning and they went, no. I went, sick. I went, so what do I do then? Well, if you want to do it, you got to pay for it. I went, fuck. All right. So at the time, I think Creative Pro was like $300 a month or something. And I was like, well, I can't afford that. So I looked at Warriors of Wrestling in Staten Island. And I went there for I would say a month. I wouldn't even, that's being generous. It wasn't for me. I was like, this sucks. If this is how wrestling is, I don't want to do it. It was very drill sergeant-y.
Yeah.
And very, trainee friendly, I would say.
They essentially, a lot of wrestling schools are going to they're going to treat it like football practice. They're going to run you until you die, and then they're going to mentally and physically break you to figure out if you really want to do this or not.
It was you didn't get up on your right side or left.
Kendo stick.
Yeah, kendo stick. You didn't get up from your right way. We have to do 75 squats right now.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, what? I was like, this is training? Like I would have just stayed at baseball practice if this was the kid. So I stopped going there. The guy like messaged me, like, are you coming to training? And I go, nah, bro, I'm not. Like I'm not doing
I'm over it.
Create a Pro was doing like their yearly like price drop for a thing, and they're like, oh, come here, see how you like it, talk to the kids that are here already, figure it out. Cool, great. I had already talked to like Bronson because he and I got close with GTS. He's like, come down, just see what you want to do. Cool. Went over. He was like, well, are you going to do it? I was like, yeah. I told Pat I'll sign up, whatever. So I signed up, and he was like, well, everyone's going to come in January. I think it was like a December show that they did. Like, everyone's going to come in January. We're all going to start at the same time. Okay, cool, great. So it was like $200 a month, which I thought was a steal. It still is, really.
For that school, yeah. That's a good school.
He's like, it's just for the month. And then we hiked the price back up to like $250 in February. I was like, all right, $50 more isn't really that bad considering what you started at. No problem.
Now, during this time too, you are currently wrestling a GTS.
I'm on GTS at that point, which I did GTS. Oh, when did I start GTS? I do this all the time. When did I start GTS? 2000.
But a lot of your early training and your basic and your fundamentals came from GTS, and then you've been trying other schools in between.
Yeah, so I did Warriors of Wrestling before I did GTS.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like it. Stopped doing anything wrestling related at all. And then a buddy of mine was like, "Oh, a friend of mine is starting a wrestling show on YouTube, and he's getting a ring like today." I was like, "Do you want to go down?" I was like, "Yes, absolutely."
So you're like a day oneer of GTS.
I'm like, I was there the week before the ring got there, so I'm before the wrestling. I'm before GTS wrestling. I'm there.
You're super silly pop.
I'm Super Silly Pop, Grimm's toy show, like that. Yeah. So we go down there, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Dave. Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Pete. Whatever." Like, I thought this was gonna be like a one-time thing. It's like, "Oh, do you want to come back next week?" I was like, "Sure, okay." And I am hot garbage. If you go back and watch some old shit, I'm garbo. So that happens, and then people from like Create a Pro are coming down, and they're like, "Oh, well, you should check out the school." I was like, "Okay, maybe. Like, we'll see." Check out the school. So I go January. It was 2023, so I went to the school in 20. Arguably, sake, we'll say 2018.
Wow.
So there's I did that. So January 2018, I started at Create a Pro. I did a month and a half there. And then my boss got sick at work. My whole work schedule got changed. So all the nights that they were training, I was working. They thought I quit. I was like, no, it's just my work schedule. I'll be back at the end of the summer, whatever. They're like, okay, whatever. I didn't come back till the next January. Came back. They're like, oh, you came back. I was like, I told you I was going to come back. I went for a month. My anxiety kicked my ass. I walked in the door. I pulled into the parking lot one night, turned the car off, went to go open the door, and I just went, I can't do this. I have to use the bathroom. This isn't good. I'm not going to blow up the school's bathroom. Drove to Walmart like 3 miles down the road, texted someone, said, hey, I'm at Walmart down the block. Not sure if I'm coming. Anxiety is crazy right now. Don't think I belong there. He goes, why don't you belong there? It's a whole conversation like, I don't know. I don't feel like I belong there. I feel like I should have been there a year ago. Everything's screwed up, whatever, all that. He's like, just come back. I was like, oh, I can't. I'm going home. I was like, I can't do it. So I just stopped that. I was on GTS for all that time. So all my training is GTS. Like, I don't even say, like, if it was like, oh, are you trained? I say, no, I'm not. Like, I have 2 months of training, but I'm not trained.
Yeah. But I mean, I would still say you're very safe to work. I've seen you work multiple people in multiple different styles of matches, and you're not an unsafe person. You still work very smart, very safe. And I don't know, man, like I hearing you, and I understand that you do have the anxiety and stuff. And we've had personal conversations too, where you've talked about your anxiety and how, almost like that imposter syndrome where when someone compliments you and says you're good, you kind of don't really believe it.
Bro, I suck, bro.
Yeah.
No.
I'm in the same boat, dude. People are like, I love the podcast and I love this. And I'm just like, cool. I don't believe you. But
exactly.
yeah, but it's dude, I like
I'll
sometimes we're our own worst enemies.
I hate watching my own matches because it's like, oh, that was supposed to happen there. That didn't happen. Yeah. Oh, why didn't I do that instead of that? And someone's like, oh, why wouldn't you? Like, why did that happen? Why didn't I do this during my entrance? I said I was going to do this and I didn't do that. I was like, I hate it. Everything. Can't do it.
Someone's real like, quick in the chat. I have a lot of people coming in from different Discord servers that I just got put into like just now. So thank you guys so much for coming in here and watching and helping me like try to get this affiliate status. That means a lot. So thank you guys for coming in and stopping by and saying hi. I appreciate you all. So thank you. If you're into podcasts and hearing people's stories, welcome to the ABJ podcast. And if you're listening to this later on audio in your car, go join these amazing Discord servers and meet really cool people, and then come watch them live sometime. Yeah. All right, sorry, little ad break there. So what is the experience of being a GTS? Like, you go there, obviously you're not trained. Someone's down there, teaching you the basics. Grim kind of said in his interview that people are going to hear in a couple days here, that he's not really worried about your lockups or your hip tosses and stuff like that. He wants to tell a story. He wants you to work on your character. He wants you to develop your ring psychology and tell a story. But like that's great. And like I said, but you still can put together a match. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, so I'm not school trained, but when I was there, I was trained by Cletus and Tony Emerald.
Okay.
So like they were doing trainings before and after we were done taping. So we were going over like rolls and lockups and like wrist locks and all like chain stuff. So when people like ask who trained me, it's Tony Emerald and Cletus are my trainers. Those are my guys. Like, yeah. And that's because it's like, I think Jay Evans is the same way. I don't know how he.
Yeah, he's 100% trained through GTS as well. Yeah.
Through that. So we'd go over a bunch of stuff. Like, even when we're still there, like a bunch of us just like stay and like go over some, like we try to like do new stuff there because it's an open ring. Like, we're not paying for anything. We go down there, we have all this time, we can do whatever we want. But like, you go down there and it's so carefree for the most part. Like, he likes to stick to times in terms of like, I want to start at this time and I want to end at this time, like just for like a noise ordinance around the neighborhood that he's in.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, as long as like we don't like go screaming and like the cops get called on us, he could care less what we do. We jump like the roof or like the scaffold that he's got there. I think someone's jumped off like, I think it's like a 2-story scaffold. Someone's jumped off like the top into the ring, and I get up there. I go up there and it like starts to shake, and I go, no, I'm too fat for this. I'm not doing this.
Was it Philly Mike? Because he's a psychopath.
It was either Philly Mike or Flash Carter. One of those two, like carefree, like
just
12
pounds. Yeah.
Like, I got enough. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, psychos.
So he's more fast paced and like high spots. That's what that is.
Like, now the cool thing about Grim's Toy Show too, and obviously working the scene you've been working in and the group you've been affiliated with, is like you've been around a lot of very talented people. Like, Grim had a lot of very talented people come through his promotion, and you've got to work with a bunch of talented people, and like iron sharpens iron. So even if you're not fully trained, your on the job training has been amazing. Like, Thunder Rosa, Chris Statlander, Platinum Max Caster, the current world champion MJF, like you've got to rub elbows with all of them. You know what I mean? Like, whether it be in the ring or just being around them and picking their brain and getting better as a talent. And there are 4 people that are on TV that you can go and watch every Wednesday night. Like, that's not a lot of wrestlers can say that.
No, it's very rare that you can be like, oh, well, I wrestled this guy before he was super duper famous.
Yeah.
And like, even Thunder Rosa was already on Lucha Underground when she came to us. Like
Mhm.
that's like she was already like super well known, like with like the hardcore wrestling community. So when she came over here, everyone's like, well, "Why would you do that?" She's like, "Well, it's 500,000 more people watching me than like they
Yeah,
were."
that's the craziest part. It's like
So
people shit on it. Like, are you crazy? Like,
they shit on it until they get on it or they watch like they watch it like, "Oh, this is really fucking stupid," and then
yeah,
they go there and they like meet him and they go, "Oh, this is really fucking smart." Like
yeah,
it's
it's
really,
crazy smart.
really, I've been in locker rooms and people are like, "Oh, this guy's fucking retarded." Like I hate terrible words used. Did not mean they hate him.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
throw him under the bus. They hate this guy. I'm gonna get canceled because of this podcast. Like, throw him like, "Oh, I hate this guy. I hate this guy." And then they meet him and then they watch the show and see what he does and they go, "Oh, why isn't he the main event? Because now the crowd's gone and like, why
Yeah.
is like
Mhm.
this is so dumb. Like he should totally like." I want to be on that show. I want this reaction every time I come out.
And it's crazy because like most indie people have no exposure, no nothing except the people who bought a ticket that night because their online presence isn't strong. And then you
Yeah.
go work a show on there and he has 1.3 million subscribers, and then you turn around and you're getting more tweets and stuff thrown at you than some people that are on SmackDown that week. And you're
Yeah.
like a year into wrestling, you're like, how do I manage this? Like,
I'm a year in. I don't know what to say on social media. I don't know social media etiquette, and I'm just gonna hopefully. And it's like, it's funny with like the social media etiquette. Like I didn't had no idea like how to react to like certain things and like what people would say about me.
yeah,
So my like, well, I don't like what you're saying. I'm just gonna block you. I could care less. And he goes, well, why would you block them? That's one less
that's
follow.
engagement.
That's one less follow you have. That's one less person who's going to be watching you now because you're being an idiot. They went, oh, okay. So then I unfollowed them. Everyone's like, well, I like this guy now because he's interacting with me like every day. And
Yeah.
that's what I'd be on. When Twitter and Periscope had done their thing for a while.
Go lives and stuff.
Yeah, I would go live for like an hour or whatever, and I'd have like 300 people on there, and I go, I don't even know what the hell to talk about.
Fucking goals, brother. I wish I could hit that.
What the hell is happening here? And then it was just like, no.
MJF has been putting together some crazy matches. How was it working with him?
I didn't work with him actually. Like
How was it being part of the locker room?
So when he was there, I wasn't. Like he was doing Grimm's toy show before it was like GTS Wrestling.
Yeah.
That's when Grimm and Brian Myers were doing their stuff together out in Long Island on like Creative Pro. So I didn't see any of their stuff. Like I maybe a week or two too late, I think, with them. So I don't know how he was on the show, but he treats me well. I would say he's nice to me. He's his character. Max
there you go. Yeah, he's Max is Max. Yeah, don't kayfabe, brother.
Well, what you see on TV is Max. There's no like, it's not like, oh hey, when the camera goes off, it's like, oh my god, it's really nice working with you. It's like Max like, shut the fuck up. I hate you. Go away. Leave me alone. Kind of like,
yeah,
bro, I just bought your T-shirt. Like I thought we were.
So
cool.
you don't care.
He's like, no, this is $20. This is great. I tried that one.
If people who don't know, if you're not a wrestling fan, this guy MJF, he plays a very obnoxious rich kid from Long Island, New York, and he wears a blueberry scarf, and he just says, "I'm better than you," and you know it. He insults you go to stand in his line, and like he flips you off. He gets your autograph. He throws it on the floor. He'll throw whatever you sign. He'll throw it on the floor, and then fans try to insult him, and he insults them back. He tells little kids that their dad should have paid $10 for a condom when they were a kid. Like he's out of control. He's a modern day Roddy Piper, if you know who Roddy Piper was.
Special needs people in his line, and it's on video, and I go, oh my god, how is he not got himself canceled? But it's like, it's
part of it.
It's just Max. Like they know. Yeah. You pay for what you get.
There was a guy who came up to him in a wheelchair and said, "You suck." And he goes, "I suck? You know what I can do that you can't?" And he stood up out of his chair. Like, are you like, that is crazy. And people love it. They love it.
You know what it is? It's not even like disrespectful. It's just like, this is what I can do. And I'm pretty sure the guy knew that he was going to do it.
Yeah.
Plus of like, because like, well, you're going in there with a wheelchair, like he's gonna say something stupid about it.
It's like going to Dick's Last Resort. Like when you go to that restaurant, they're gonna make fun of you.
Yeah.
Like, so when you get in MJF's line, if you're bringing your young child, like your young child's gonna get roasted.
Like you're not. Yeah, it's absolutely terrible idea.
Yeah, and then when fans follow him, he like, if any of you fucking marks get in this elevator, I'm punching you in the face, and then they just leave him alone.
And he probably gets in the elevator and probably laughs at it the whole time. Ah, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's crazy too, because he purposely stays out of the limelight. He purposely doesn't go in public a lot, like because he doesn't want to break character. I'm really hoping I get to meet him so I can so he could do that to me one day. He's so awesome, my favorite AEW wrestler. Yeah, there you go. Now, what are some matches that you got to put in? Like, so one thing I like to talk to a lot about wrestlers is they have that aha moment. They have that moment where like, oh my god, the pieces are here now. Like I feel like I've accomplished something. I feel like I'm hitting my stride. I feel like I've gotten this flow down. I feel like I got my character down. What was that moment for you? Who did you work that you kind of had that like snap moment where you're like, okay, I feel like I'm on the right track here?
I don't know if I've had an aha moment yet.
Really?
I don't think I have. Maybe I have. I don't know. But then again, this is just me like hating myself. So that's,
I feel that.
No, actually, I might have an aha moment. I wrestled Jimmy Rave 3 times on GTS in a warehouse, and he guided me so well through all 3 matches. He just like bread and butter, nice and easy shit, nothing crazy. He's like, this is what you're gonna do here, this is what you're gonna do here, and I'm gonna do this, and this is how this is gonna go, and it's gonna go, and it just smooth. I was like, that's all you have to do? That's it? And it's great because now I'm like, oh, all right. Jimmy Rave said this and Jimmy Rave said that. And then that's how it gets to that. And it's like, oh, aha. So maybe that is my aha moment.
Yeah. See, self-confidence. I would say the craziest out of all the matches I've seen you do a bunch. I've seen you get beat up by Sandman. I think that was like a running gag for you. Everywhere Sandman was in Jersey, he had to hit you with a kendo stick.
It was a running gag for 6 months, and I'm over it. And I hope no one ever does it again. And I know someone's gonna do it again because I know when it's coming.
Yeah, because he didn't go soft with you on that kendo stick. He cracked you with it.
I got real cocky with it. The first time
at Shore Star, you got real bad. You were talking over his entrance music.
The first time he got me was in Atlantic City, and I was like, ugh, whatever. And he whacks me on the stomach, and I go, oh, whatever, that wasn't so bad. I'll just haha. And he gets me on the back, and I went, ah, but he clipped me real good on the shoulder blade. I was like, oh, that was really bad. That was a terrible idea. Shore Star, I was like, let's get ballsy. I've never heard anyone talk over his entrance music, and it's like 6. I understand, man.
You're like, hurry up, we get it.
Do this is terrible. And he got me good for talking over him. And then he complimented me later, but I won't. That's its own thing. I was like, oh, that was really cool. Holy crap, because he doesn't remember me. I was like, this is great. Oh my God. And then he got me. That was the second time. The third time we did SWF at a crack motel. We call it the crack motel because it looks like
yeah.
He got me again like 3 weeks later. I was like, I gotta do this again. Clips me the first time, clips me the second time. The third time, I'm talking to a fan. I'm like shit talking to a fan, and he comes in between the top and the middle rope, and he clips me again, but like really hard with like the tip of the kendo stick, and I wasn't ready for it. And the first thing I did was just turn around and just jump, and I fell back into a seat and like fell off the seat. And I was this is the worst idea ever. Like I never want to do this again.
I watch fans like pay money to buy a kendo stick from him hit them with the kendo stick, and then he'll autograph it.
Yeah.
Don't do that. He'll hit you. Like if you give, he doesn't go soft. He
doesn't go soft, and he's always drunk. So
I don't think he drinks anymore.
No, he does.
Does he?
Shore Star, he had to drink water or apple juice because it's a kid-friendly show.
Gotcha.
So they wouldn't allow alcohol in the building, which is fine. No big deal.
Bummer.
But I think he
I thought he quit drinking.
No. I've seen because the SWF show that we did, he had two tall boys of Budweiser, like Budhead, and
Okay. Crushed him.
he came out with one, and then pulled the second one out of his back pocket. I was like, "Where the hell did you get that
Love
from?"
it. Yeah. You know what upset me? He didn't come out with Zuba pants on. That kind of upset me when he came out as Short Star. He just came out with jogging pants, I think. Jogging pants or jeans, yeah. But yeah, so you have a really fun rivalry, I guess, or a few good fun matches, and it was one of my favorite ones of the night, especially that night, at Pro Wrestling After Dark, where you did a death match with with one of the craziest people in the scene, I would say. Walk us through that match. Let people know who you wrestled and what you psychopaths did this match.
So I wrestled Charlie Bonifer at Pro Wrestling After Dark. What was it? Halloween
In Atlantic City, Monster Mash or something, or Monster Bash or something.
I don't even remember the name of the show. It was like Halloween. I forget what they're called. So we did a death match. So for like 2 weeks leading up, we're like, "Oh, what do you want to do? What weapons do you want to use?" And I was like, "Well, I would like to use glass." And we were looking for like a pane of glass to use. We couldn't find it sounds so stupid, a safe one to use, because it's not really safe. We're going through glass, but there's certain layers to things. You want to be as safe as possible in a death match, because I don't want to cut an artery.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I don't want to look like I don't bleed either.
Mm-hmm.
So
you bled.
I bled a lot, and I only bled from the
gusset plate.
The gusset plate, like that was like the main thing, and then we did the light tubes, which
I remember them saying the only rule we had for the venue is we don't get glass or light tubes in the grass. And I go,
they said no glass in the
there was glass everywhere. Yeah.
So I was like, well, can I do? And I went around. I was like, can I do this here and can I do this here, and I'll make sure that it doesn't get in the grass. And he goes, yeah, whatever. Like I was like,
still got in the grass.
Great. And it still got in the grass because of the way we were kicking it out of the ring and like kicking it. So when you use light tubes, you always want to use T12s because they're the thicker, and they like the thinner ones are like can easily get cut. When they cut you, they can easily go into your skin, and it's a whole issue. It's like T8s are the worst for that, but they use those over in like England and Europe and all that. And they're like, oh, they're fine, whatever. I used the T8 one, so I was like, whatever, it's not a big deal. But T12s are like the big ones. I don't know, like the big ones that you would use in like a hallway lights kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like in a store. So you get a bunch of those. Very expensive to get a box of those, by the way. Not very cheap anymore. They used to be like $50 for a box. Now they're like $100. I was like, ugh.
And you guys, how much you guys go through that night?
The entire box.
Yeah.
So 4, 8, 12, 16, 24 or 30 or 30.
So it was popping.
I did.
Then you had some taped to a table, and you went through a table with them on
which broke before we even used it, because I stepped the wrong way getting in the ring, and I went, really? So we did 3 on a table. I did 3 on a bundle that I put on my back, and then did a cannonball.
Like a cannonball. Yep.
And then we did 3, 3, 3, 3. So 6, 9, 12. 4 bundles of 3, 2 bundles of 4. So there's about 30 in there. And then we did barbed wire, carpet strips. I think there were thumbtacks involved. I don't even remember at that point.
I don't remember either, to be honest with you. There might have been, but there was so much glass and everything else going crazy. It was a lot going on.
Glass, you don't remember anything else. And then the carpet strip. The carpet strip was like, you put it right here, and then you just give it a couple taps, and it should stick in. Well, he and I are like, well, the adrenaline kicked in real fucking quick because it was like 30 degrees on the ocean. And we're like, fuck, it's really cold. This is a terrible idea. Why do we think to do this? And I think we punched each other in the head and went in. And I did to him first. No, he did it to me first, but it was so cold that he like straight punched it in and it it bent in and folded. And I went, do I really want to take this out now? And I just popped it out and just straight gushed.
Yeah,
Like
it was on camera. They got it on camera.
Blonde hair. It wasn't blonde at that point. It was straight red.
So if you look at the thumbnail to this interview, that's essentially the aftermath of what he looked like after this match. It was a mess, but it was on IWTV. It still may be on there under Standalone Wrestling, but I do know they moved streaming services to wherever that other crazy deathmatch promotion is. I know Chad moved everything onto their streaming service. But there's Pete right there.
Yeah, that was post show.
Yeah, that's post show. Yeah,
nice and cold and not happy with someone getting in my face. So.
But yeah, man, so. Do you prefer the deathmatch style, or is that something you lean into, or is it only when the time calls for it?
I like it more than regular wrestling because I can hide the fact that I don't wrestle well sometimes. So it's
shut up, dude. You can wrestle, like you're good.
Yeah. See, I'll let someone else tell me that I'm good at it. So yeah. I like it more. I wanted to do it for a while. Now I haven't done it since February. I don't think I've had like a hardcore match since February. And I'm kind of like, whatever. Like if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it happens, it happens. Now,
who are some of your favorite people to work on the scene
in deathmatch wrestling or just regular wrestling?
And just in general.
I've wrestled Everest like 6 times. He's all right. I like him.
He's a guy. He's a Commanders fan too, isn't he? Right?
Is he?
I think he is. I think he was wearing a Commanders hoodie or a hat after the one show we all went to the bar.
I know he's from down there, so he might be.
I gotta reach out to him. I want to talk to him on the podcast. He's another one I want to talk to.
I've only wrestled Philly Mike once, but I'd like to run that back again when he's fully healed.
Yeah, I know Riley wants to work you too.
Bro, I want to beat the shit out of her so fucking bad. I want to rock her shit. I watched her on here when you did it with her, and she was like, "Yeah, I want to wrestle him." I go, well, "I've never done intergender, but she's got like such a punchable face. Just fucking rock her shit. Just send her up with a nice shine." Like Mike, like, "Yo, what'd you do to my girlfriend?"
Yo, so she over the weekend she was involved in a spot in a situation where everyone ran into the ring to do a chase out spot, right. And fucking the one guy grabbed the chair and he like put it back like he was gonna hit the guy, but when he threw it back, it caught her right in the forehead and swelled her up. She had like a bump. This is a little bit of a cleaned up Pete that night. That was
very. I look like I have like a cut
on your eyebrow,
but it's just like I think that's just
yeah.
You should have seen the bathroom after that match. I went to like where we were doing the light tubes.
Yeah.
Turned that entire sink red. I felt so bad.
Bro, I was pretty drunk on that show doing commentary too. Poor John Weiss. I insulted him so bad the whole show. I don't know if you ever listened to that show back on commentary, but I just destroyed him.
We didn't have to watch it back because we can hear you from where we were. So I called up to Peter like 3. You have to like put this over. Like you have to. He's like, and I don't even think he heard me. And you were like, "Fuck yeah, this guy's the best wrestler in the fucking world." And it's like dumb shit. And the only thing I have on is a fucking headlock, and you're just like, "This guy's great."
I almost broke. I think it was Everest. I almost broke Everest in a match on commentary because he heard me from across the room. Him and Philly Mike had that match, and he crushed Philly Mike and sent them flying. And we were in the like Wildwood. So if you've ever been from Wildwood, New Jersey, they have these tram cars, and when the tram cars are going down, they have this annoying speaker that goes, "Watch the tram car, please. Watch the tram car," and that's all you hear your entire time on the shore. So he crushes Philly Mike and sends him flying across the ring. I go, "Everest with the huge body check. watch the tram car, please. And the whole place erupted. Like everyone turned around and looked at commentary and was laughing because I said that.
Oh, watch that back so bad. Oh,
yeah, good moments. But so one of the questions were in the chat. Let me try to find it here. I believe someone said, "Who are some people on the scene that we should be looking out for that you're a fan of?"
That I'm a fan of. I hate everybody. So,
well, I'm a heel commentator, and he's part of a stable called Bad Company. But in Bad Company, I only like him and Jay the Key, and I act like I hate his other two teammate members. So it's like a weird dynamic where I'm like, these guys are scum. Why does Pete and Jay even hang out with them?
Man, let's see. Let's put people over that I like. So we'll do Jay Evans for sure. So Jay, Kurt, Lance.
I think I said something during that same show because it was like an adult theme show, and I guess Jay was dressed up as a Powerpuff Girl and he flashed the crowd, and I said that key will fit in anywhere or something like that.
I heard that from downstairs. I think I was standing at the bar underneath you. I was like, oh my god.
We were working blue that night.
Let's see. So we'll put Jay over, we'll put Kurt over, we'll put Lance over.
All great picks.
Yes, we'll put them over. I'll put Philly over because I've known him forever and he's really, really good. I'll put Riley over because whatever,
and you want to punch her face.
I want to punch her face, but she's very enjoyable to watch on a wrestling show. She's gotten much better than when I first saw her. But progression. We love that. We love that for people. I don't know if you've seen James Gray and what's his Jermaine? They're like the Bonnet Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there I thoroughly enjoy watching them do tag stuff.
I believe you did a tag team match with them at the library show.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what it was, yeah. Oh, so then I'll put over my tag team partner that day, Yankee TDM. I thoroughly enjoy watching him wrestle. He's fun. He's fun to work with and then team with. So I like. I've just put over my friends at this point. Who else do I like?
The small list.
Oh, there's Jaden Steele.
Yeah.
Cowboy bro. Who else do I like?
Well, if your list is small, we can go to this one here. Where in the world would you like to wrestle? What's a bucket list place?
Oh, Japan.
You like to go to Japan?
And I think Japan for so long was my end goal because I didn't think I was I was going to be like a WWE fit. So I figured like Japan has got all these like small but like popular promotions and like boom, Japan, I can go there. Yeah. Now like AEW is available and like now they don't have dark and all that, so it's a little more difficult. And I'm not trained. So it becomes a little more so I think Japan, England, I'd like to go to. I guess on a smaller scale, realistically. I'd like to wrestle in my home state of New York. I've never wrestled here before.
Well, that was a question. Do you ever travel outside the Northeast scene? He doesn't because he only wrestles in Jersey, and we're begging him to get into Pennsylvania. You need to come to the Sanctuary.
So it's funny. I'm now wrestling outside of the Northeast scene in June. I have Arkansas coming up.
Wow.
Which random fucking states that I've ever like been asked to wrestle in. I've wrestled in North Carolina before, which is like, and then I have Maine coming up for like the third time for a new company. So Maine,
and in the Sanctuary very soon, right? You're gonna come out for a first Friday and wrestle in the church.
Is it the first Friday?
Yeah, I think this next first Friday is gonna be a drag show. So I don't know if it's gonna be a wrestling show. I think it's like a drag like lip sync show. I don't know if it's gonna be wrestling, but if there is wrestling, I will on a Friday. We'll get you out there because that'd be a great way to work Riley.
I want to do I gotta message what's the other place that I want to go to? The other one you work for.
High Tension.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, we need to get you in High Tension
too. Right underneath here that I just can't read because that one I want to work them too.
Yeah.
Fun. I want to wrestle like Ricky Price there. So
Ooh.
I want to wrestle Ricky Price. That too. Like that would just be fun. And I like his character. I like the
Oh my goodness. You could beat up Ricky Price for me.
That just looks like a blast. I realize he's very anti-you.
Yeah, we don't like each other.
Did he make those anti-ABJ shirts?
Yeah, someone on my Discord made them, but he took a shirt and then defiled it, and then it somehow ended up on my merch page. So if you want to rock the I hate ABJs,
I like right out.
What's that?
What?
I didn't hear you said.
I said who I might have to go buy one of those after something.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny. But yeah,
like,
you should definitely. You and Ricky Price is a match I didn't think I would get. I didn't think I would get. And now I want it.
Yeah, that's one. I've seen his stuff. Like he's been popping up on like Instagram and all that.
Yeah,
and his promos just are very funny.
Yeah, he's very good. He's very good. He's very inspired by GTS. Like if someone gave him the okay to come to GTS, he'd be there in a heartbeat.
Just show up. Just message. Tell him to just message Grim. Be like, yo, I want to come down. He's like, all right, come on. That's all you have to do. You don't have to You don't have to be like, oh, I need an in. You don't need it. Just message him. Just go. You're in.
That'd be dope though. How about your favorite interviewer outside of Ring of Ryan? Well, of course, Ryan. It's ABJ. All right.
I fucking knew Ryan was gonna come in here and ask for some dumb. I'm gonna bully this kid even on here. He bought a T-shirt today. He goes, "You gonna stop bullying me now?" I go, "No, never."
So, Ryan, sometimes as an interviewer, your best interviewers are the ones that you hate. Yeah, besides Anthony Blackwell. All right, man, we're getting to that time. I don't want to keep you all late, and I know your fans off in your room and you're dying. Where can people find Pete Corvus online?
You can find me on Twitter. It's at Pete Corvus, Corvus, not like that clown Eric Corvus that I'm wrestling in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
The mechanic guy.
2 weeks, yeah, the mechanic guy, the guy that I stole his name. That guy. My other family member in wrestling, apparently.
Yeah, your brother, right?
Too many of them. You can find me on this one, Pete Corvus, Corvus. Instagram is Pete_Corvus927. I got a pro wrestling tee store. You just go on that website or the app that they have and you just type my name in. I got a bunch of nice t-shirts up there. What else do I got?
Did you see my duct tape shirt? My ABJ duct tape shirt?
No.
Yeah, I have a duct tape shirt.
Like a KO shirt?
Like a KO duct tape shirt. Yeah.
I don't want the anti-ABJ one anymore. I want that one.
No, you listen. I don't coin the duct tape. I clearly stole it too. But I think you need your own duct tape shirt.
So I had a Pete Corvus show shirt at one point, but it was very overly. Yeah, see, that's nice. But mine is very overly inspired by him.
Yeah.
Like it was on Raw on Monday, and I think I had the shirt made by like Wednesday. And
I love that.
I was like, huh. So I just stopped.
Don't you have a panda shirt too?
Do I have a panda shirt?
I thought you had a shirt look like his panda shirt.
Do I have a panda shirt? No, I asked someone to make me a red panda.
Style
of him. I want a red panda in the style of him.
Yeah.
Because I love red pandas, and he's my favorite wrestler ever. So like.
And that's where we bonded, because I remember calling your match first time ever seeing you, and I was like, this guy reminds me of like a Kevin Owens, and you came up after and you're like, thank you so much. That way, yeah. But Pete, we have one last question. One last one snuck in here, and we'll get you out of here. If you could write a letter to your younger self, what would it say?
Fuck, that's deep. Don't be so hard on yourself.
There it is. I like that.
Yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. I can write the letter to me now. Yeah, the same thing. Don't be so hard on yourself. Be patient. Don't take everything to heart. It's not that wrestling is not that serious. Everyone takes it ain't that serious. It's a job, but like
have fun
with it. You have fun with it. Everything comes your way, because like, who cares? Who really cares at the end of the day? People are coming to still see anyway. Who cares? Have fun. Don't take it so serious. Life is short.
Gears of Kai said if you need a duct tape shirt, he's got you. Kai's my logo guy, and so is Hunter Dillon. So hit them up if you need some logos.
With your guy,
very, very, very affordable, and they do great work.
Deal, man.
There you go. And Ryan said, I watched the whole interview. Thank you all so much for hanging out. This is probably the first time in a long time where I think we outviewed on Twitch over YouTube. So that was cool. Thank you all for the Twitch love. That means a lot. And once again, Pete, links below. Support the podcast if you want to buy some merchandise, if you want to do that. Also support my guest downstairs. My guest here as well, and check his links. Like my Brady Bunch cohort over here. And here's some music by Billy Trey, and we'll see you guys on Monday with Just Saying at 7:00.
He's good too. We'll put him over too.
He's good. And then Joey Conway on Tuesday.
I think he's good. I have to watch.
He's very good.
We'll put him over too. Yeah, do that.
He's awesome. And then there's that Grim guy on the 18th.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that. All right, cool. All right, we'll see you guys next time. We're out here.